Okay, I'd like to call a meeting to order for Wednesday, January 20th. And let's see. And I'd like to welcome Mayor Johnson to our meeting.
Thank you.
Welcome. I am going to start the meeting off with the holiday contest that's on our agenda.
Do we want to do the minutes first?
Yes, we do. We'll do the minutes first. You made the change on there, Rachel?
Yes.
All right. Did everybody read the minutes from last month, or from November? And if so, are there any changes?
So the minutes were good. Minutes are okay.
All right. Can somebody approve the minutes as written?
Isn't that what Alberta just did?
You know what? I didn't hear. She said it was no changes.
Alberta Davis approved the minutes as written for my
Thank
November the 18th, 2020 meeting.
Thank you. Now we'll start with the holiday contest. Did you all get your contest winners with some little snowflakes on them?
I called them out last night, but I neglected to thank them. But Chuck did it for me. Thank you, Chuck.
Sure.
When you're not in person or with them, some stuff just gets slid. But Chuck held me up for that part.
Okay, can you see my screen right now? The list of the winners?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And this is a certificate that I made.
Oh, nice.
And I emailed it I mailed it to everybody who won. We also put it on Facebook as well as a video of indoor court. I took a video and put that on Facebook of the whole street.
Okay.
So I can get rid of all those pictures I have on my phone now.
I've got them. Thank you.
Okay.
Did we have any complaints or anything, Rachel? Everything went okay?
The only person, Betty Dunn, she didn't think someone got her house on the one night, but I guess you got it the other night. Because that was your street, Robin?
Yes, I got Betty.
How did she know we didn't get it on that night?
She was probably watching like everybody else was.
Oh, I see.
Well, you know what? I went the next night. I went on, what day were we supposed to go? But I went the next day.
I went the next day too.
We were supposed to go on a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yes.
It was bad out
Wednesday. It was
Wednesday.
bad Wednesday. I went Thursday. I didn't have any problem.
Yeah, I went Wednesday.
Okay.
Rain, the snow, and the ice.
Thank you, Denise, for braving the snow and ice.
Yes.
For you.
For me.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay, anything else on the holiday, on the contest?
Nope.
All
I don't
right.
have anything.
Okay. Rachel, that's a nice award. I like that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let's move on to Tree City.
So our Tree City application was approved for 2020. Because of COVID, we weren't able to do things to get the growth award. The luncheon is supposed to be at Montgomery, but they highly doubt that they're going to do it this year. They might do some kind of virtual thing with a care package to open. So that's what I know about that.
Okay.
Now, we had registration for the tree removal program, and 64 households registered to have their trees looked at and evaluated and possibly, taken down with that program.
Okay.
And then reforesting Forest Park, we also had registration. Oh no, I'm sorry, that registration's in April. Instead of ordering 100 trees, he's only going to order 70 this year because we had some left over. So these are the 4 that he chose: honey locust, red maple, magnolia, and something I can't pronounce. And I don't know exactly what it is.
Okay.
So registration for that, you can order trees.
Man, last year,
What was that?
I was trying to pronounce it.
Exactly. I think it has many stems. It's maybe more of a bush type thing.
Oh, okay.
And then they also did the Christmas tree recycling, and they mulched 126 trees with that.
And there was one tree down by the mulching, down by the tree sign. Did you see that?
Yep,
No.
every year.
Every year. Okay. So on the Christmas tree recycling program, did you get a lot of trees, or do you know?
126.
Wow,
126.
that's pretty good. Okay. Anything else on the trees? Okay, we'll move on to the, did we get the 2021 calendar? I think we did. I don't think I figured it out.
No, that's after the,
2021 calendar?
you're ahead of yourself. With yard contest is next.
I am ahead of myself. Okay, let's go to the yard contest. So, Rachel, what do you have on the yard contest? Does anybody have any thoughts on the 2021 yard contest?
Rachel is showing her screen,
Okay.
sharing her screen.
Okay, do we want to keep it the same?
I like keeping it the same, but I think that if we have judges judge the street with the plastic flowers on them, we won't have anybody giving them flags.
Yeah, does anybody have a thought about not having the contest this year? I'm not sure if it's going to get worse or better, but I'm not sure I want to do it.
But the issue with that is, my opinion, we're outside. We're not going inside. The way I did it last year, my son was driving. I jumped out of the car, put it in their yard, and kept it moving. So it's not like you're going up to their door and talking to somebody or have any physical contact.
I'm not only talking about the judges.
You don't think the people will work in their yards?
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
What did you say, Robin? You're burnt out?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's not only the judges. I know we just get out, but people go out too. And I'm not sure, we don't know about the applicants or the people who call in to judge. We don't know if we're going to have more or less or the same doing it. I'm just throwing it out there for everybody to tell me how you feel.
I like the idea of having them to call in to register. I think it'll cut down on the callbacks in saying that I was missed. Nobody gave me a flag. We don't have to worry about the plastic flowers in the yard. I mean, if the council's okay with it, I like to do it the same way we do Christmas. You call in if you want to be judged.
Okay.
That way we won't need hopefully we won't need as many judges, and we'll know what we're doing, because every year we go through the same problem. I was missed. Why didn't I get a flag?
Okay.
Will how will the people register? How will they know to register?
Like they do for Christmas, call in the office and say, I want to be judged for the yard contest for 2021.
But we
Okay.
have
how
so
would they
few people that
notify?
call in for Christmas. We don't have very many people to call
Well,
in for Christmas.
How will they know to call?
we would advertise it like
It's
we do.
advertised. It would be
Okay,
advertised.
okay, where will it be advertised?
In the social media, on the marquee, in the newsletter, on Facebook.
And then I usually announce it at council if we're going to do it that way.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
May I add something, please?
Please.
Okay, I want to just give you a bit of historical information, if I might. And I'll only go back about 7 or 8 years because that's been how long that's been the up to now the most recent history that I would have. This is a huge community relations event. You'd be surprised, people will kill for these flags. However, on
They
the
sure
other,
will.
however, on the other side of that, I think if beautification wants to continue to do it, especially in the same way, there has to be some adjustments made in a lot of areas.
Right.
You may not know this, but I know Rachel knows it because she and I bear the brunt of it most of the time. When you know, 2-3 weeks past the weekend that we do the judging, she and I are constantly getting calls, emails, letters from people who did not get a flag or want to tell on somebody next door, why did they get one and I didn't, because my yard looked better than theirs. And it's a constant problem to have to try to deal with the same thing year in and year out. Every single year we're dealing with the same issues. It's like in the classroom, being the teacher in the classroom, you don't want to punish the whole class because somebody threw an eraser and you didn't see who did it. But in this case, we don't want to take it away from some people because there are other people who aren't doing what they're supposed to do. If we're going to continue with this, and Denise, I think you would agree, I don't think council will have a problem with continuing it. I think
Right.
what we want to see is we want to try to eliminate the problems that are coming with it. I can tell you that I know we oftentimes we've started over the last several years having people who will go out and buy the artificial flowers. Well, you have not allowed those, but if you have people who are serving as judges who are not part of your committee, they may, even though you give them that in instruction, they will still put flags in those yards. By the same token, I know that at least one current council member and one former council member are constantly, every year I get the same argument from them. They don't do flowers, they do plants. Well, this is supposed to be for, quote, flowers. Somebody's yard can look very, very good with plants, but if the rule says flowers, then we should stick strictly to what the rules say. And maybe in one way of attacking this would be making sure that everybody gets or sees what the rules are, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. And in the last few years, another area that people are complaining about, I should say, on both sides, why didn't I get one or why did they get one? There's a lot more work that goes into actually getting out in your yard, digging up the dirt and planting the flowers, as opposed to going over to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever else and buying the hanging pots and sitting those on the ground Now, it's not to say that they don't look good, they do, but there's a difference. So we have to be very specific in what we're going to say the criteria is. And whatever criteria you all want to use, that's what we have to stick to. Now, that's not to say that people are going to complain because they went outside the criteria and didn't get that flag. But at least we have to try to make sure that everybody who is going to be a participant, who wants their yard judged, knows what the rules are and follows the rules. Otherwise, we may as well just give one to everybody or not give one to anybody.
And that should, and that should go out in the rules for people that want, we should announce that and let the people know no artificial flowers
We do.
will receive
I think we,
will receive a flag. That's just a simple thing. No artificial flowers. But it not only should go out to the judges, but when it's advertised that it's coming up, that should be emphasized. And a lot of emphasis should be put on that. It must be live flowers, no artificial.
And like I said, you all will have to decide in the area of live flowers whether or not you're including quote green plants, whether or not you're including potted plants. Like I said, all of these things need to be spelled out so that people know up front what it's going to be required of them to do. Because if you don't,
right.
Well, even if you do, you're still going to get some complaints, but you get more complaints if we don't say that and somebody goes out and decorate their yards with plants in pots or with green plants. The other thing about the judging, and Denise better than anybody knows because she's human resources chair. We are getting fewer and fewer and fewer volunteers. So the people who volunteer to judge, the number of people has gone way, way down significantly. And we end up at the last minute, sometimes taking people who have not had been privy to these conversations or knowing what the rules are. So if we're going to continue this, we have to educate people of what it is you're looking for, and two, we've got to make sure that we have the judges in place way, way ahead of time so that we know we got enough. And thank you for listening to me.
you're welcome. Excuse me. Rachel,
Yes.
on our criteria, don't we have on there no artificial flowers?
Yes, we do.
And I think in the past, I know I have given out awards where they just had green, like hostas and a lot of other plants, no flowers, but their yard is very well manicured. And I think they deserve an award. But I think if we can think about Alberta's suggestion to let them register, it might be better because maybe our group can only do it, or people that have been judges longer, like Betty Dunn, and maybe they might know what to look for, like no artificial flowers. So, we can take that into consideration.
Question regarding registration. Again, you all are convincing me that maybe we should go registration. If we go registration, we will definitely not need as many judges because we won't have as many people registering.
True.
That's true.
What, too, it's like our mayor said, this is a big community event thing, so we don't want to take it away from people. What it seems like that we have to do is maybe go back to the drawing board and redo our criteria and decide that we're going to do live plants, hanging plants, artificial plants, get that notice out to the people and start working on our judges. And if they can't come to something like we have tried before, invite them in and tell them, you know, no artificial plants like we've done for the last 2 years, then maybe we can send it to them in the mail. If they say they're going to judge, then this is what we have to
We
go
do
by.
send that to them in the mail.
Yes.
How do we increase our judging population?
I don't know. As I said, Denise can probably speak to that better than me. We have citywide, not just with beautification,
Right.
but we have a very, very, very hard time getting volunteers. As our population gets older, people like me, you know, we look at it in terms of, well, we've done our share, we've put in our time. So we, hopefully some of the quote newer, younger people would volunteer, but unfortunately that's not the case. So we end up, we end up burning out people because we can't. But if we're going to continue in the vein that we have done in the past, and I have no problem with continuing it, even without the registration, but I think a key piece has to be, you all will have to make a determination early on based on the number of people that you know you need for judges and based on the number that you get. You know, you may set for yourselves a timeline that says, we're going to do this, but, and I think we normally do this in, Rachel, what, June or July?
June.
July, it's
June.
June.
You know, if we want to say, okay, if we don't have enough people by mid or the end of April as judges, then we won't have it, because you can't keep putting all of the burden on you same people and expect that it's going to be done and get done properly.
Yes, I agree.
So we should start a recruitment for judges, right? With that said.
I
Right.
would think you have to, yeah.
Mhm.
Because otherwise, you know, like I said, part of the problem is if you get people at the last minute, then
And a lot of people wait till the last minute.
yeah,
You know?
then you have the other. Then that just adds to the problem of them knowing exactly what the rules are and who should be, you know, who should get the flags and who should not, because they haven't had the quote training or whatever. They're just last minute people, and as Rachel just said, I can tell you that over the last few years, last several years, it's been that situation where, you know, I would touch base with Rachel on the Friday before saying, have we got enough people yet? And she would say, yeah, well, we're down one or two. And I, you know, my standing thing would, if you need me to do it, let me know. And several years I've ended up doing it because we didn't have enough people.
Rachel, do you have a list of all the judges that we've had for last year?
Yes.
Why don't we split up the list and call people, start calling as soon as possible to see if these people will be judges again? And if that's sufficient, and if it's not, to start recruiting some more. I mean, judges seems to be our biggest problem.
Judges do seem to be our problem, but I think what I'm trying to find out now, can you all hear me? What
Yes.
I'm trying to find out now is, do we want to have the contest and do this? Or do we want to take a year off and get our self together? William, you're going to do it?
Oh, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so you were shaking no, you don't want to take a year off. Is that
No,
what you
no,
said?
that's what I'm saying.
Okay. And Alberta, I want to get this straight. You don't want to do the registration?
No,
And then one thing we have to also consider, that June is vacation time.
It is
So
vacation time, but we still have a pandemic, don't forget. And we can't
that hasn't stopped people. Yet. But I'm just saying, we don't know if we're still going to be on shutdown or we're still going to be in this situation in June.
That's
But I'm
what trying
saying
to say.
that that might be part of the problem why we're having issues with getting judges.
So I'm just trying to find out before we have a long discussion and we decide, are we gonna have the beautification contest this year? And Rachel should be chiming in because Rachel does most of the work too with ordering the flag,
Why don't we just
putting the packages,
why don't we just
putting the packages
why
together.
don't we just get the why don't we just get the list that Rachel has, break it up, call the people to see if they want to be judges. If we only get 5 judges, of course, I don't think we should do it because 5 people can't handle whole Forest Park. Not in
So
the
does
time
anybody
period.
want to volunteer to do that? I think Linda says she would.
Yeah, I said so. I said I would, and I thought we might all break it up and everybody help. Call so many people. If she's got I don't know how many judges we had, but
About 30.
okay. I can call 30 people. It was a whole lot. If somebody wants to help, that's fine. I don't have a problem. I will call 30 people. If somebody else wants to help me, I am delighted. How many people do we need though? Do we need 30? How many do we need, Rachel?
The whole town is divided up into about 30 sections.
Okay. We need 30.
Right.
Who would help me make phone calls or who will not? I will make phone calls.
Okay. I don't want to make phone calls.
Okay.
I will help you, Linda.
That's 2.
Okay. So
We'll do 15 apiece. That'll work. We'll divide it up and we'll make the phone calls and we'll let everybody know at the next meeting.
okay, so we're going to table this till next month. Okay.
Yes, because I'm going to have to jump off
Right.
shortly because I got an appointment.
Good.
We
Okay.
all have an
All right,
appointment,
Denise.
but my thing is, so what are we tabling? Are we going, we're tabling it to see if the judges are going to do it in June and we're not having people to call in, we're just going to judge the whole city. Is that what we're doing?
Well, I was trying to get a decision today, what to do. Are at this meeting, if we're going to have it or take a year off. But if you all want to check on the judges, see if we have enough. Sometimes they come through, sometimes they may cancel, sometimes they may not. But I think we should hear something from Rachel, because like I said, she does a lot of the work that for this contest. And then it sounds like the mayor does some work with it too.
But the thing is, we still haven't decided, are we going to keep it the same and do the whole community? Or are we going to ask people to call in?
Let's keep the same and do the whole community.
Right. That after the mayor said what he said, I didn't think there was an
I think that
option.
was a question, right?
Right.
Well, it's a PR thing for Forest Park, really. I mean, it's really a good community service. I mean, we stand out in that we give those flags and other communities look at it. They don't have anything like this. So I think it's good that we do the whole community if we can.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm just
So
trying to
that's all we
find
have to
out what we want to do. It's not like we're going to get rid of the contest. It's just things are different this year. And I just wanted to make sure that we would have full cooperation. I mean,
Well, if I can tell you this much, if it makes it any easier for you, as Councilwoman Holt said, none of us at this point know where the pandemic is going to stand come May, June.
Mm-hmm.
If in fact we're still in this or very similar mode where the pandemic is concerned, then the city manager will, as we've done with other things, we will automatically cancel it. So that's an issue you don't really have to worry about in terms of the pandemic part of it, because that's our duty and responsibility to safety of the community, safety of the people. So where the pandemic is concerned, if there's a feeling that it's still at this stage or close to this stage, we will be canceling not only this but most things that like we've already done up to now.
okay, well, I was just trying to check and see where we were because, like I said, we need judges and we need to figure out about the criteria because no matter how much Rachel puts in it or sends out, every year somebody gets a flag for plastic flowers. And I don't know if that's gonna change or not, but oh, excuse me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I clicked on something. Let me see if I can get back.
We
Anyway,
hear you. We hear you.
We hear you.
okay, anyway, we'll just table it till we'll table the.
Linda and Lois are gonna make calls to the judges and see how many are gonna come back. Okay.
Yes.
Correct.
And then we'll go from there.
And
Yes.
then we'll go from there and we can, Rachel, if you have any idea of what to do with the criteria, and if there's anything else you can put in that, and maybe we can take a
And we
look
could
at.
have maybe have a judges training over Zoom, you know, or
Yes.
even a couple of them, you know, one during the day.
Yeah, we
got
did have
different
one
options with
before,
Zoom,
I
actually.
think a couple years ago. Right, Linda?
We did. We did.
Okay.
Well, just one quick thing. I think instead of Rachel, maybe we all can take a look at it and send our suggestions to Rachel.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, I'll send those out then.
Yes. And do we need to come up with a date? Or do we want to wait, or do we?
Our
do we
next
have a
meeting,
date,
right?
Rachel? I think we have a date, don't we?
Third, isn't it the third Thursday?
June?
No, our next meeting. Oh, you're talking about the
Okay.
date for the contest, or?
Yeah, I guess we can table that till next month too.
February the 17th.
Yes,
So we should get our notes into Rachel before February the 17th. So
Yes.
that way she can have an
correct.
idea of what we're going to change. My suggestion.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Now, who do I get the list from? Will I
I
call
will-
Linda or Rachel?
I'll give it to you.
Okay,
Okay, do we wanna talk about a date yet? Or do we have dates on here? Let's see. Oh, we're coming up the calendar next. So are we through with yard contest? Everybody understand? What we're gonna table it till the next meeting, and Linda and Lois are gonna call the judges, and then we'll look at the criteria that Rachel will send us. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. But fine with me.
okay with me.
All right, okay. Now, so let's move on to the 2021 calendar. So, the Tree City Luncheon, you say it's gonna be in Montgomery, Rachel?
Montgomery was supposed to host it, but Wendy said it's highly unlikely it will happen in person this year.
Okay,
Might be a video with a care package to open. So
okay. Do you know what date that is?
I do not. She did not tell me.
Okay.
Probably be April the 23rd.
I know it's like the week before Arbor Day, and it.
Yeah,
Usually.
usually.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can't do judge training until we figure out how many judges, right?
Right.
And beautification contest, if we have it, we're going to do it in June.
Right.
The beautification, yes. I got a calendar.
So like the first weekend in June or the second weekend in June?
Oh, we did it.
The
When did
second.
we do it last time? We did it too early last time.
When did last year we did it on what? We usually, and when
Isn't it
started
usually
out-
Father's Day weekend?
Yeah, we usually do Father's Day.
Father's Day's
but
third
we
weekend.
Changed that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think we've been doing it the second weekend.
Okay, so are we gonna keep it that way?
So that'll be the
It's
12th,
very
13th.
early.
June 12th and
What's the
13th.
next weekend? Is that Father's Day?
Father's
Yeah.
Day.
Yes.
Why do you keep saying that it's early?
Because flowers hadn't been, we barely got them in the ground because we had such bad weather.
So much rain.
And then we had so much rain, it was killing everything. We couldn't even buy
Yeah.
flowers, couldn't find them.
But this year may be different. We don't have any control of that. If we wait to the third week, then they all may be burned up this year. We don't know.
But why don't we just wait until next month and set a date?
Okay, I'm for the next week. Anyway,
Father's Day weekend.
yes, I don't mind going out.
People don't want to be with their fathers.
I do. I don't know.
Yeah.
They'd rather do it the 19th and 20th.
Yes. That's just my opinion. So
I
whatever-
agree with, I'm with Robin. Who
Okay.
else
I'm
can
for the
vote?
second
Everybody can vote. Where are you?
I'm the second weekend.
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay, well, we can have those two dates out there and we can decide next month.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Well, if when they're calling the judges, they might want to ask.
Give a date. You're right. You're right.
That's right.
When we call the judges, we'll ask them. And then we'll tell you next month.
Okay.
You're gonna let the judges decide what weekend we're doing it?
No, we'll let the judges decide when they are available.
That sounds
Let's
good.
letting them decide when we're going to do it then.
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. I mean, it may be more available on one date than the other.
And the other.
And one thing too, we have judges who know, well, some of the judges, I don't know all of them, but a lot of judges know because they plant flowers themselves. So they might have some input that would allow us to make a better decision if we get their input.
I agree.
I concur.
So you're going to ask them that?
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so the commercial judging, we can leave that the same time, Rachel. Or when was that? We do
July,
that in
wasn't it?
July?
Madam Chair, we might need to chair that because that commercial judging, that's split up a whole lot more.
That's what, Alberta?
Commercial judging, we're gonna have to split that up a lot more. Because one section is too much for one person.
On commercial? I thought
Yes,
we went
ma'am.
on churches and restaurants and maybe split the business up.
What was too much, Alberta?
Business,
Business, okay. That sounds good. Do we have a date?
I'm trying to see when we had it last year.
July something.
Yep. The week of July 5th is when we had it last year.
Okay, so that would be the 3rd and the 4th. The week.
The week. So we could do it the same thing, the week of July, 5th.
Yes, through the 9th.
Yeah,
That whole week, right?
correct.
What you're saying, okay.
And then the holiday contest.
Okay.
The 3rd Wednesday is the December 15th. Do we want to keep it that date or say anytime that week? I guess it depends if
Make
we're
it
going to
that
be
week.
going together or if we're going separate again.
Let's do that week. And if we do that week and we go separate, we can do it when it's convenient for us, not one particular date, which might be bad.
Yeah,
Okay,
Like we did last time.
yeah.
yeah.
so
So that'll be the week of the 13th through the 17th.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
But why we have to do the Christmas judging a whole week? I mean, if
It
they're gonna call in, so why we have to do a whole week?
It gives us a chance as judges to be able to get to their houses at night. If it's snowing today, it might not be snowing tomorrow. And if we say a certain time, and we did like we did this year, where we
Right.
didn't make it, somebody gets mad at us because we weren't there.
Yeah. I would say let's do it that week. It'll give people a chance to, you know, not have if they have their lights up, we will have time to get there and judge them. So do we agree to put that week for judging the holiday contest?
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay.
And then if the pandemic's over, we decide to go out on that Wednesday, we can go out on that Wednesday altogether.
That sounds great. That sounds great, Rachel. Yep. Okay, so are we through? Are we through on the calendar?
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll move on to, so Denise, is Denise gone?
She said she had to leave.
Yeah, Denise left. So do we have anything else? I guess we don't. I think we don't. Mayor, do you have anything?
No, again, just thank you for letting me join you.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
coming.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Because we didn't know that you talk to people.
Oh, he gets lots of calls after the
Oh,
contest.
yeah.
I didn't know.
Lots.
Constantly. Yeah, up to 2 or
Okay.
3 weeks afterwards, yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least, Mayor, they didn't track you down on the day of judging and tell you to come back and judge there.
Not yet.
Well, they have tracked me down. So, okay, so our next meeting, Rachel's on the 17th,
February 17th.
February 17th. Okay, does anybody have anything else?
Oh, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm gonna give those magic word that the meeting is adjourned.